1992, your last season at Lotus. There was talk of you joining Williams for 93 instead of Damon Hill. And what did Ron Dennis, the boss of McLaren, say to you or to Keke, whoever it was, to convince you to go the McLaren route and not the Williams route?
For me, it wasn't very difficult to make a decision. I was in a fantastic situation because we did get a lot of offers from different companies, different teams to join because they saw my ability, my performance on a racetrack. They said, we want this guy. So there was quite a few teams. And Williams was one of them, McLaren. What other teams there were? Ligier was one of them.
So why McLaren?
Why McLaren, you ask? It was interesting. I was in Austria. I was in Keke Rosberg's chalet. But that was before Christmas, I think, in 92. Keke's fax machine was running flat out. The paper was coming out. Different options and different offers. And it was a beautiful situation. I was relaxed. I was really chill out and said, this is looking good. And of course, Keke was very stressed up. He had his glass of whiskey and offering for me also. And said, no, I'm fine at the moment. And it was a big pressure for Keke, but for me it was easier. And the why pressure for, well, I don't know how to talk about why pressure for Keke, but this is a serious decision. I think many people would think about, maybe it was because of the money. And of course that has an important part of the business. But for me, I had a confidence on McLaren because what I experienced in my first years in Formula 1, 91, 92, looking at the drivers who raced before with Williams, drivers who raced in 91, 92, about the talks, what was going on, how happy they were with the team Williams. And I did recognize that there is differences. There is differences how the team is run, how the team operates, and what are the priorities. And I felt that the driver, the team, will get full respect from the team. I mean the team. What I mean team, it means the whole people who are working at the team McLaren example. They all get the maximum respect. And the driver is a star, but the driver is same time a team player. So we all win together. And I got the feeling a little bit in that time that the drivers, they are the drivers for Williams.
Patrick Head used to call them light bulbs, didn't he? You could take one out and put another one in.
I think that's what it was. That got the impression I got. I said, do I have a future with something like this?
Surely Keke, of all people, would have seen that Williams had the best car in 92. It looked as if they were going to have the best car in 93. McLaren were changing engines from Honda to Ford. In terms of performance, Williams looked like they were locked on for another good year, whereas there was a bit of uncertainty about McLaren, wasn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. But I did say to Keke that way, I want to go to McLaren, and I think Keke was quite surprised. I don't think he was so. He did ask me, reasons why you want to do that, why you want to go there, and I did explain the exactly same thing that that's what I feel, and I feel that in McLaren it's a very, very strong history, and the drivers are treated differently, and I think it is very important. The driver needs massive confidence. I think the racing drivers are quite a complex people. I think they're a bit spoiled, but they do need a great confidence push all the time. It's not question about they need to for their ego, but they need that confidence boost because they need to do some extreme performance on a racetrack, and they need to just go really, really incredible results. So I think the McLaren gives this kind of position.